The escort left me 10 miles south of the Canadian border. It was marathon, like a small marathon truck stop. The town is called Marysville, I think. Marysville, Michigan. Exit 266. And so my new escort, the Canadian one, crossed the border this morning and came there, and we left probably like at 7:15, 7:20 a.m. and drove to the bridge. I paid the toll, and it's funny that on the Canadian side they already started to take debit cards and credit cards, but the US side is still in the Stone Age, cash only. And just to be on the safe side, I found the Blue Water Bridge website, and I called them, and because the office is open 24 hours because trucks cross all the time, I called and asked, do you take cards? And they said no, cash only. And he told me that he reminded me the price was like what, $325 per axle. So of course they charge you for all axles, no matter if they're up or down. And so I went to the ATM. It charged me $275 US. So they took $40 out, and then the escort showed up, and we drove to the bridge, no problems with the toll. We went over. Actually, it was very helpful to have an escort, like whenever there was a construction, we were communicating via the CB again, and he would tell me if I'm clear in the back. He would block traffic for me. It's really, with a load like this wide, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity, especially going through narrow roads and construction zones, And this was a very experienced guy. This one was from Canada, actually. He says he lives about less than an hour away from the border. He does this stuff all the time. Like, the guy is probably in his early 60s or late 50s. He drove a GMC Sierra pickup truck, and so the toll was fine. But then when I tried to go through customs, my paperwork was not on the system, so it turns out it was a manual clearance again. So I had to go into the customs compound on the Canadian side and go see my broker, Livingston, a favorite customs broker of many truckers. But this time they did everything correctly. I showed them my paperwork. I said, my ACI or PARS is not on the system. And so they look at the serial number of this machine and found my documents, and 5 minutes later I was on my way back to customs, but already inside the building. So I dropped this in the tray, and they said, oh, have a seat. Okay. And I just waited maybe like 1 minute because there's no truckers over there. They called my company name. I went over, picked up the paperwork, got in my truck, and we started driving on 402. And there was like one, and he warned me, this guy, because he's from this area, right? He says there'll be a construction zone with concrete barriers, my favorite, and he says you'll have like maybe 6 inches on each side. I said, beautiful. They make it too easy. Why can't they make it 1 inch on each side? Then it would be really exciting. And so, what do? You just slow down, right? You slow down to a crawl, and you watch your mirrors. And once again, I was relying on the power of my Max Bulldog, on the hood. Just keep it on the line, And this guy the escort was watching my rear, the rear of the trailer, and he was, telling me on the radio, looking good. So, but I could see that, but it was really, you have to be really focused and just, it was like a millimeter accuracy was required. They gave me one guy that did this before, and they said he'll help you. Nothing to it. And so we got like maybe 4 or 5 foot long timber, like 8x8. And we put it under the front tire. The guy says, you want to drive or you want me to drive? Well, I said, I never drove this thing before, We'll have to learn quickly. And he says, well, there's nothing to it. It's just like a truck. okay, I climb inside, and he was just watching me, watching the tires from the outside. And this was like real easy because it's not an articulated truck, it's just like a regular vehicle, you know, except that it's so big. But the visibility is amazing, you know. You can see, I don't know, I think I saw Moscow, Russia from that truck. Or maybe it was Toronto, I don't know, but the day was very clear. But anyway, you just start it. It's a manual, automatic transmission, just like in my car, you know. Put it in P, D drive, and then 1, 2 and 1 and reverse. So I put it in 1, like, so that it doesn't shift and goes faster, you know, with those huge tires. So yeah, the front tires rolled off those timbers, and then the rear tires were rolling on the trailer, and I was afraid it would go, like, if I go fast it will just drop down the ramps. I didn't even feel it, you know. I was looking back because I could see the tires, and I thought I was still on the trailer, and see, wait a second, I'm already on the ground. And this guy waves to me like, go, like, why are you slowing down? I said, well, I'm sorry, I thought I was still on the trailer. And today I finally decided it's time to do some painting. I'm using this was a brush, but all the hairs that were here, they fell out. I think it was some kind of a infection. I'm not gonna touch the ramps because that's useless. And the water of some kind would be nice. Huh? So this is gonna make the trailer look a bit better. After all, it's only like a year old, and also hopefully prevent further rusting. But again, I often haul, you know, tracked machinery, so I'm not sure. Can you see? Pretty close. So this is dark steel metallic. Okay, so I'm gonna let it sit for a second. Well, I'll go do the other side, and then I'll do a second coat. Smells good. It reminds me of my childhood. My mother was, you know, crazy about painting, and every like 3 or 4 years she would repaint all the walls in our apartment. You know, I don't remember, we had to go somewhere, I think, like even a hotel, because the see, that's that road machine with those, the one that takes off asphalt. Just did this in my trailer. By the way, the other day I was asked if I wanted to haul one of these, but they wanted me to do it Sunday or Saturday, I forgot. But anyway, so I only had like 5 hours. I had to pick it up in Barrie, north of Toronto, and deliver to North Bay, which is 4 hours away, or 3 hours away. But they said this machine was sitting there by itself, there was nobody to help, and they said, do you know how to run it? And I said, yeah, well, I ran it once, but I think
the guys were at least helping a little bit at Ritchie Brothers. So I said, might be a long time, you know, starting this thing, loading, especially by itself, by yourself, it's very dangerous. So I said no. So I'm spending the weekend painting my trailer. But they said the freight situation now looks good. So I should get something next week. Wow. It's probably, if I sell this trailer now, I could probably sell it for 100,000 pesos. For sure. Oh, actually, I will need this for the fenders. And that's it. 11 bucks worth of rust paint is gone. All right. Now I'll do the other side, but let's see what we're dealing with in here. Yeah, we'll finish this part tomorrow. $312 grams. Okay. Looks pretty good. But of course I know, you know, the way to do it properly is just to sand everything, but then, like I said, I have one excavator goes over this and it's all done. Oh, look at this. Huh. That's when I was unloading yesterday. You know, the front was too low and I was hitting the brakes, and I heard some scraping. Probably had a bolt somewhere here. The machine, that big truck, had a bolt. What? Almost painted my car. Let's go. I like this. I like this truck. Looks good. Black and red. Well, Thanks for watching. I hope you guys and gals have a great weekend.